All right, so welcome back to another episode of Cocktail and Eat. My name's Tim.
And I'm Heather.
And for those of you that have not been watching our previous episodes, what we do here is I've got a whole bunch of bourbon and I want to be able to keep buying bourbon. So I figured a great thing to do is introduce my wife to bourbon. So she has been kind of exploring bourbon and slowly developing I'd say a liking towards it a little bit.
Sure, yeah, we can say that.
So after brainstorming and talking, we decided some good videos that we should do is kind of some basic 101 bourbon things that we've learned along the way. So this is a great thing for you to share with your friends or family or other people that really want to get into bourbon, but they're scared of alcohol. Like we're talking...
Sure, like a higher proof.
Yeah, higher proof
And that can be scary.
It can, because when you first start, you're going to get a lot of the burn, and it's not always pleasant, and you're going to get the alcohol notes and everything like that. So we're going to show you tonight one of those tricks of the trade to make sure you don't get that. And so what we're going to talk about tonight is adding water to your bourbon, which, depending who you talk to, some crazy bourbon snobs are super angry right now and triggered, and they would never, ever add water to their bourbon. Which is crazy, because if you go on tours at the distilleries, your master tasters actually proof all their bourbon down, because you can hide a lot of imperfections on the bourbon at a higher proof. You cannot hide those imperfections at a lower proof. And as you add water, it changes the flavor profile and everything like that of the bourbon, and makes it taste completely different. So you could have something that's really high proof, a barrel strength, like this Old Forester barrel strength I was lucky enough to get a hold of. And it tastes one way at a barrel strength, but as you add water, it completely changes the profile, and you might like it even more at a lower profile.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we've learned this from some of the tastings that we've been on. And just educating ourselves about bourbon. But I do, remember it was actually Old Forester's tasting that we went on, and they had the option of some droppers there, so you could put some water in if you wanted to do that. And I will say, like, another common thing that people see is, like, adding ice cubes, right?
Yes.
So pouring bourbon over ice. And that's another one that, like, the experts would probably, like, keel over and die if they heard that you were putting ice cubes in your bourbon. I have learned through the tasting with you that, like, the needing to chill your bourbon isn't a necessity. So we did get chilling stones at one point. I think you talked
way
about
back when, yeah,
in one of your other YouTube videos, but like, you don't need it. Like, we got it, we tried it a couple times. It's like, you don't need to chill it. And, thinking about those stones, like, oh, it's not going to melt and water down your bourbon, so this will be great. Well, the thing is, a little bit of water is good.
Yes.
And, really, it doesn't need to be chilled, and you're going to taste more and enjoy it more, I think, from what I've experienced.
And actually, I mean, there's really three different ways to enjoy a pour of bourbon, which is neat, with water, and with ice. And all three are going to be completely different flavor profiles. Neat because it's at full proof. All the oils and everything are the way they are. Water changes those, brings some of the oils to the top, everything like that. And ice actually closes the bourbon down a little bit, so it changes it completely again. So again, there might be a bourbon that you don't like the way it tastes, and you put it under water, and you do, or you put it in ice, and it changes it again. So again, don't be scared to explore and try new things. So at full proof, what I get on this guy is I just get a huge brown sugar bomb. I mean, there's just, when you smell, you just get those.
It smells really good. There's a lot of nice sweet aromas going on in here.
Yeah, it's brown sugar. You get all those notes, everything like that. It is great to smell. It is great to taste.
Ooh, it is strong for me. Like, I can tell that it's barrel strength.
And having drank a lot of bourbon not tonight, but in general, I am gotten to the point that I'm very used to really high proof bourbons. I love Stag. I love Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Things that come in at 130 proof, and this guy right here is 124, so even higher bourbons. But to me, this one doesn't drink as high as other bourbons I've had. There's a little bit of an ethanol burn in the back, and I definitely start to get that, like, it's warming me up a little bit.
Yeah, in that region.
Yeah. And so it's one that I would definitely be interested in adding water. So how you add water to a bourbon is you can get a nice eyedropper or something like that. You can also use the cap of water. There's a whole big rabbit hole you can go down on what type of water you should add.
I'm going to go ahead and add water to mine.
Go for it. And then what you want to do is just add a couple drops, swirl it around, and then try it and see if it changed it and everything like that. And then what you can do is, again, go back and try it some more.
Yeah, so my taste initially was, like you were saying, just brown sugar. It was a lot of sweetness, which sounds great, but there was the alcohol overpowering all of that. And really all I could taste was the brown sugar. There wasn't really any other flavor notes that I could think of. So we'll see what adding water does.
Sounds good.
It still smells really nice. Like, the nose was really good before, but... Okay.
There we go.
Well, it's way more tolerable. But I don't get nearly the same amount of sweetness.
Okay.
That's really nice. This is a very good bourbon, by the way.
I'm pretty happy.
This was a good purchase. Good job. Thumbs up. He likes getting the approval.
I do.
Even if it means he has to share.
That is true.
And I'm getting this, like, kind of like moist cake texture, feeling, taste in my mouth right now. It makes me think of like what is that? A pineapple upside down cake. It's kind of what I'm getting. So definitely different from before. And I feel like the water is allowing me to experience those other flavors.
Yeah. A lot of people will say this, and trust us when we say it. Drink your bourbon how you want to drink it. If you want to put water in it, if you want to put it on the rocks, if you want to be crazy and put it on those cold
Chilling
whiskey stones, do that. The important thing is you are enjoying what you taste. And for those of you that are like, absolutely never put water in bourbon, why don't you be a little bit more open mind? You don't know what flavors you're missing out on that could be in the bourbon itself. I'm not saying you have to do it every time, but, you know, you never know until you try it. So.
Yes.
So if you like this, please hit the subscribe button. Let us know what are some other questions you have about bourbon. Maybe we can find out the and everything like that. Like I said, we're going to do a couple more of these Bourbon 101 things, just kind of to help you along your bourbon journey. I kind of wish I had some guides along my way. It was a lot of trial and error, but I learned a lot along the way. And it's great to have Heather here because she's in the middle of that, and so she can talk a lot more about truly how it affects everything. So
yeah, glad to help.
Absolutely. So see you guys next time.
See ya.